Investigators are looking for the mechanical equivalent of a fingerprint. It's marked on a bullet each time a gun is fired. The lines are called striations, and they allow forensic experts in a lab to connect a weapon with bullets found in a victim. A police recruit scouring a field found the gun yesterday. It was less than a block from where 7-year-old Julian King's body was discovered in the white Chevy Suburban stolen from the Hudson family home. The weapon itself is a .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun. That's the same caliber used to commit the murders of Jennifer Hudson's mother and brother.
Recovering the weapon was a good sign. It gives us some additional clues, and we're going to keep running them down. Like I mentioned before, I'm extremely confident that this case will be solved.
I'm Pat Alaman for Nancy Grace. Kathy Cheney, where is William Balfour and what happens next?
Well, William Balfour is still in the custody of the Illinois Department of Corrections, being held on that parole violation, and he has a parole status hearing on November 10th to determine whether or not he did violate his parole or not.
Okay, Natalie Thomas from Us Weekly. You know, there's talk that he was stopped in June with crack cocaine in his car, and you know, maybe didn't go to anger management. What's up with this guy?
He definitely has a criminal past. He, you know, as we know, he spent 7 years in prison when he was only 17 years old for attempted murder, among a list of other things. So he definitely has a shady past and has violated his parole since he's been out, and is not a decent character.
Well, they'll figure out, I guess, at the hearing whether he has violated his parole for any variety of reasons. And you know, Hugo Rodriguez, everyone says, oh, rush to judgment, rush to judgment. You don't know. There's all kinds of things going on in that neighborhood. Why are you pointing to him? But it seems to me, and I don't know, but I mean, he's had some friction with the family, and right now, who else would have a motive?
You know, I don't know who would have a motive, but we had a similar situation here in South Florida, unfortunately, where a famous football player, Sean Taylor, was shot in his home. And it turned out to be that someone not immediately related, but who knew of them, and it was a robbery attempt that no one figured out until several days later. I don't know. He is a person of interest. They'll probably violate him for violating his parole for whatever those charges are, but until they have some concrete evidence, they're not about to charge him with the homicides in this case.
Ann Bremner, is being a person of interest in a case enough to get you back in the pokey?
No, absolutely not, and they're just going to hold him on the parole violation. I was thinking, you know, the most famous case of a family murder together was Truman Capote's in cold blood.
Right.
You know, and so of course you don't know, and right now they're just holding him on parole violations, and right now he's just a person of interest.
Entertainment journalist Soleo, you know, what should Jennifer do next? I know she's staying out of the spotlight. Do you think that's wise for her?
I think that's very wise. As an artist, you have to live your life and you have to be true to yourself. And right now, Jennifer, she's not in a condition to be out there promoting her film or her music, and you know, her fans wouldn't think that it would be respectable anyway. So of course, she needs to take care of herself, keep herself grounded, remember her mother's legacy, which was, you know, confidence, support, wisdom. Remember all those great things that her family gave her, and hold on to that, because that is really the only thing that's going to get her through this terrible, terrible tragedy.
Well, she stayed in constant contact with her family, correct?
Oh, yes, constant contact. And there's actually a funny story. Her mom actually did not want people to know that Jennifer Hudson was her daughter, that they were related, because she liked her privacy and she didn't want people to be too involved in their family business and things of that nature. But yeah, she stayed in constant contact with her family, would visit her brother and sister, and when she would go there, you know, they would tell her, oh my God, Jennifer, what are you wearing? Why do you have this on? So they were just honest and loving with one another, and so that's her rock, that's her support system. And now that it's gone, it's going to be tough for her.
Here's something we were debating in the newsroom, everybody. Apparently, Julia, who is the mother of Julian, and of course you know the rest of the story, on her MySpace page, she still has her ex, William Balfour, as one of her top 10 friends. Forgive me for not understanding how this thing works, MySpace, but Patricia Saunders, you know, why would he still be on there? I'm not saying he committed the murders, but they are estranged, they're having all kinds of problems, her wages have been garnished because of non-payment on his part. Why would he still be there?
Well, because she still loves him. Clearly there's a deep attachment between these two, although it may be highly conflictual and ambivalent. I don't think we can make presumptions about what their relationship is really like. She also said on MySpace that she's numb, so she's in no condition to be processing much kind of thinking at all.
Do you think perhaps, Leo, since you know the family very quickly, she just may be in some sort of grief and denial?
I think so. I think grief and denial, just unsure of how the events are going to play out. And, the message that she wrote was very respectable, and you get the sense that she is really going through a lot of pain.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Tonight, CNN Heroes.
This is